Doctors of Reddit, what is the weirdest thing you've found up someone's bum and what is the story that the patient told you about it? Funniest. TV remote most WTF. Pool ball scariest. Open pocket knife. I'm a vet. Dog had eaten a whole roll of poop bags. The plastic bag is people used to clean up after their pets on walks. They unspooled in his gut and spread from stomach to colon. His owners realized what had happened when he started pooping out bags and brought him in through ER. My coworker went in to cut him, and the scene she described was hilarious. He would intermittently strain a little and poop out a little section of bags. Someone would tear them off and he'd be okay for a bit, then poop out some more. Like he was dispensing them for himself. He did great after surgery. I encountered a patient who had a roll of quarters stuck in their rectum. They claimed they were saving for a rainy day but couldn't explain how it ended up there. Regardless of the story, our priority is always ensuring the patient receives appropriate care. My sister is a doctor. During medical school rotation in ER, a guy comes in with a large carrot up his butt, so far in that he can't reach it to remove it. He tells her he was on a ladder in the kitchen and fell to the floor. She promptly, and without cracking a smile, asked why he was on a ladder, in a kitchen, butt naked, with a carrot stood on end on the linoleum. Light bulb in vagina, small glass bottle in vagina, lemon in rectum, carrot in rectum, too many vibrators dildos to count, paper clip small in penis urethra, and pen in penis urethra. I had a colleague who told me about a Barbie doll in rectum. A couple of perforated bowels too due to insertion of foreign object. Only one person was honest about it. Lots of I slipped. I got drunk, and my friends did this to me, and my favorite who claimed he washed his homegrown vegetables in the shower with him to save water, and he has misplaced a potato. Why are people putting light bulbs in their genitals? That is a nightmare. Funniest has to be a big ass lemon. The PT said that he has a history of prostate issues and saw a video that talked about finding something to give yourself a prostate massage. He couldn't find anything, but then saw this lemon, so just put it up there, and it got stuck. The best part was that while he was telling me this, his wife was laughing so hard. When I asked her why, she said, "You might think he's making this story up, but I've been married to this man for 30 years. This is how he thinks, and he's stupid enough to actually try this and think it would work." I tried for an hour or so in one of the emergency rooms to try and fish it out with no luck. My colleague was able to fish it out the next day with some birthing forceps from the obstetrics theater equipment. What didn't I find? Weirdest thing probably being a dozen of eggs. Respect though, none of them were broken until we had to take them out. Dove men's aerosol deodorant can. He didn't volunteer how it got there. But when I pried Giggity, he admitted to putting it in there for the reason you suspect. He left the cap on, which had a smooth taper, and put the cap end in first, so I could not grab onto the concave, smooth bottom. I told him he would have to go to the OR to get it out. A few minutes later, my nurse went in to get some new vitals or something, and he was laying face down on the bed, wrist deep in his own ass trying to get it out. About 10 minutes later, he poked his head out to sheepishly inform us that he was successful. So good on him. How about a bullet in a vagina? She had no story, just mentioned it casually after a few days as an inpatient being treated for an infection, asking if that could be the cause. The remote of a TV from a hotel. Owner of the hotel wanted it back after, and that was pretty strange. Ex is a nurse. Her weird bum thing witnessed was a whole frozen fish head first. It was fine until the scales defrosted enough that it couldn't reverse. She also said if you see anyone in a robe in the ER, it's always an ass thing. Not a doctor, but a neighbor who was drunk decided it would be a fun game to play flaming assholes. So he rolled up some newsprint, dropped Tro, stuck newsprint into his asshole and lit it with a lighter. It caught fire and he ran screaming into the neighborhood lake on the other side of the street. His wife was pissed and said she was not going to take him to the ER since he needed to learn a lesson. We ended up taking him to the ER because he had likely burned his ass bad enough to be serious. Doctor came out and asked us if any of the rest of us were burned because of this game. We said no. He said he understood that we had been playing. We said no. Only our idiot drunk neighbor was stupid and drunk enough to think that he wasn't alone in this game he made up. He ended up with minor burns on his ass and his anus. We took him home with meds and a note on what he needed to do when he sobered up, along with a follow-up appointment. He was in some pain for the next couple of weeks. He never did it again, but also never lived down the stupid game. He did still get drunk when hanging out with the neighbors far too much. Wife divorced him several years later. There was a case where a patient came in with a cucumber stuck in their rectum. The story they told was that they were experimenting with new culinary techniques in the bedroom. It's important for patients to feel comfortable sharing the truth, even if it's embarrassing. Take your pick between light bulb, corn cob, jam jar, BBQ tongs, or tennis ball. The story is generally that they slipped in the shower, and the tennis ball they had in there for some reason went up their bum. We love a good foreign body Friday on our radiology. Not a doctor, but dated a gal that apparently got drunk, was lonely, and lost a toy screwdriver from one of those kids' tool table play sets up her bum. I don't remember what she said. She told the doc about how it happened. Dated a nurse. I obviously asked cause it's funny. One that sticks with me, mainly cause I misunderstood it, was an entire bottle of Boolean cubes. In my mind they had stuck every cube up there, when in reality it was the bottle. I was worried they got sodium poisoning or something in addition to an uncomfortable butthole. I am not well versed in butt play. I have a friend that's a pharmacist, and when she was doing her rotations, a patient came in with a bag of Lego people up his ass. Kirkland's signature multivitamin bottle. Guy needed surgery, it was stuck. He really wouldn't explain what the story was. I did have a guy come in with a severe anal rectal tear. I asked how he got it and he said, well, I was showering and you know those spigots in the bathtubs? Those don't go in so good. I left the room.